Hi, welcome to this episode of The Daily. My name is Brendan Malone. Well, today I've worn my DC Comics Batman shirt so I can talk about Marvel movies. Don't worry though, I have a pair of Marvel slippers sitting in my wardrobe waiting for winter. A couple of weeks ago, Robert Downey Jr. said that there was not going to be another Iron Man 4, another standalone Iron Man movie. And a lot of people kind of seem shocked and surprised by this. I'm really not, for two really important reasons. I think, first of all, the Marvel Cinematic Universe now has progressed to a whole nother level. And it doesn't make a lot of sense to start going backwards and using the concept of standalone superhero movies to tell stories within that universe. Yes, there will still be standalone movies, but I think they will be used predominantly to introduce new characters that are not already part of the cinematic universe yet, or to perhaps tell important backstory points that we need to know about in order to progress the universe. But the way things have progressed now, it's pretty hard for us as audience members to have to go backwards and watch standalone films, because we are now so used to seeing the big spectacle, the big ensemble cast of all the superheroes together, working together to battle against some evil. It's kind of hard to then take a step backwards and go, oh, let's just watch one of those characters in action. There's so much you get out of an ensemble cast movie, the interaction between characters, the humour, the interplay, the different skills, and all that sort of stuff that make it just that bit more exciting, and it's hard to sell then an individual movie that's lacking all of that sort of stuff. Secondly, I think there's a bit of a logical problem that you can't really overcome the longer the Marvel Cinematic Universe progresses, and that's this. Why would an individual superhero who is facing some major villain not simply call on the other Avengers to help him or her in that battle? Or why would the other Avengers not simply turn up to help out if a major supervillain was threatening the world or threatening some city? It doesn't really make a lot of sense. And already in previous films and in previous Marvel outings, we have had excuses that have been dropped into the plot to try and explain why the Avengers wouldn't be there, or why they weren't there, or why they didn't come to help out. The problem is, as the Marvel Cinematic Universe progresses, it's going to be harder and harder to keep making those excuses. And I think as an audience, logically, we're going to start to ask that question more and more in those individual films. Well, where are the rest of the Avengers? Why aren't they helping out in this scenario? You can get away with it with certain characters, like Daredevil was a classic example of a character of a sort of almost like an independent franchise, if you like, where you can get away with, and it's a very clear explanation for why the Avengers wouldn't be present, because Daredevil is a very self-contained superhero who is about protecting one particular city, a very small city, and that's where his focus is. He's not a global superhero. He's not fighting off threats to the globe. He fights off local threats. He fights off those mafia-type criminals who threaten his city. The sort of next tier down criminals that you can imagine the Avengers probably wouldn't really waste their time with. And so the Daredevil concept makes a lot of sense, and you could potentially keep telling individual Daredevil movies. And there are other certain characters like that. But I think the main superheroes in the Marvel franchise, now I don't think it really makes sense to keep going back and making individual movies unless there is some important backstory plot point that we need to know about. I'd love to hear your thoughts though. Let me know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow on The Daily.